Hi, this is Ashit Goyal from BIMServe Education. In this tutorial, we learn about setting up project levels in Revit. This tutorial is part of Revit architecture courses available at BIMServe Education. Join a course for downloadable resources such as templates, assignments, and live instructor-led sessions. On completing the course, you get a downloadable certificate of completion. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the red subscribe button for new videos every day. Levels are one of the critical settings in a project. They represent floors, or they may represent a vertical location of many building elements such as beams or ceilings. Most templates, including those that are available out of the box with Revit, do contain a couple of predefined levels. It is a good idea to customize these according to your project requirements. The initial levels of your project should be defined right in the beginning. Of course, these can be adjusted and added or removed as your project develops. By default, Revit typically has level 1 and level 2 and a third level, site, which is already defined. Level 1 is at an elevation of 0. Let's open the exercise file setting up project levels.rvt. Zoom in a little closer to our base point that we set in my previous video. A link to this video is available in the information panel on top right of this video. You can also find the link in the description box below. Now select Spot Elevation tool from Annotate tab and then place it close to our project base point. Notice that as we move, the value keeps changing. Also notice that when we bring the tool over the project base point, it suddenly reports a value 0. That's because the value of project base point is originally 0 as well. Now, changing levels happens because Spot Elevation tool reports the elevation on a sloping surface or the Toposurface. We created this Toposurface from an imported CAD file. A tutorial for this has already been uploaded earlier, and the link for this video is present in the information box on top right of this video and is also present in the description box below. Once we are satisfied with the location, click and place the Spot Elevation tag here. Hit the Modify button or Escape button a couple of times to exit the Spot Elevation command. I'll now select the project base point tag and change the elevation value from 0 to 16 which is closer to the spot elevation value that I see. Let's switch to south elevation view. Notice the project base point has moved up closer to our toposurface. Zoom in closer to levels. Notice that the level 1 is at minus 16,000 and level 2 is at minus 12,000. I'll use the dimension tool and select metric dimension style and draw dimension between level 1 and level 2 and then log these dimensions. Logging these dimensions uses a little icon, lock icon that we see here, and locking a dimension prevents accidental change or disallows changing it until it is unlocked. Again, hit the modify or escape button a couple of times to exit dimension command. I'll now change the elevation value of level 1 from minus 16,000 to 0. Notice that both level 1 and level 2 have moved up, and level 1 now coincides with our project base point. I'll now draw a few walls and cut a section to verify their visibility and location. Here in this section, we see the wall is starting from level 1, which we had set. I'll click on the crop view button here to see the entire topography in section. Let's switch to level 1 view to verify if the walls that I have just drew are visible. I'll draw additional wall to verify if location of my building works as I had originally imagined. Back to south elevation. Notice the levels are away from my building and they need to be extended. I'll select level 2 and then pick this level and when I pick this, notice that this little circle changes to a red square. Also notice this blue dotted line, and you also notice a lock symbol. This indicates the two level heads are linked together. So when you move one, the other also moves. I'll now add a few more levels that are required for my project. To do this, I'll pick Level tool from Architecture tab on the Datum panel and then select Pick Line tool. Notice the additional information on Options bar. We have a checkbox and a button Plan View Types. Let's understand what these mean. The checkbox Make Plan View creates plan views when it is checked and will not make any plan view if it is unchecked. The button Plan View Types is actually a drop down that shows a list of plan views or plan view types. By default, all three are selected. You can deselect these by clicking on one that you do not want. Now, only the plan view types that have been selected will be created. I'll now make a foundation level, and for this, I do not need a ceiling plan. So, I did not select this from the plan view types. I'll make sure Pick Line tool is selected. Add a value 1200 for offset and then pick level 1 such that it shows a blue dotted line just below level 1 and then click. The new level is created and I'll rename this to 00 foundation. I'm adding a numerical prefix so that the sequence of levels in my project browser are in a logical sequence, where the lowest level is on top in the browser, and as we go down the browser, the levels keep going up. Notice, as I change the value here, Revit sends a message confirming that level change and also suggesting that if I would like to rename the corresponding views. The corresponding views are plan views indicated in the project browser. I'll hit the yes button since I want the views to be renamed. Notice the change in the name in the browser. Here, notice I clicked on this break symbol here to add a little more space for level heads. I'll now create the ground floor level. Notice I selected ceiling plan in the plan view types this time. Now that the ground floor finished level is created, I need to adjust the dimension as well. To do this, I'll select the dimension line and then pick Edit Witness Line tool. Using this tool, I'll select the two new levels that I created. I'll lock the two dimensions between NGL and the foundation, and NGL and the ground floor, as I do not want these to change. I now need to change the distance between ground floor and first floor. I want this level difference to be equal or in multiples of my staircase riser. This way I prevent fractional dimensions in my riser height. In my staircase I am using the riser of 178, and this will result in 18 risers between ground and first. Now, to change the height between ground and first floor, I'll select the first floor level. When I do this, notice the unlocked dimension becomes blue, indicating that this value can be changed. So, I'll add a formula for the height here, which will be 178 multiplied by 18, and this results in a height of 3204. I'll now draw the roof level as well, and similarly I'll rename the levels. Notice the plan view site has not been changed. This is a special view and should not be renamed or deleted, as this has very special settings and properties and becomes tricky to change them later on. This concludes the lesson setting up project levels. In the next video, we'll learn about using walls to develop floor plans in Revit. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Let me know your views, or if you have any questions on this video, I'd love to answer and hear them. Thank you.